will we see from Zeke this season?
Well, before I make what we're going to see from Zeke, Skip, in the last segment, I said the poop word, and I want to apologize to all those that's listening at home. Skip got me upset.
I pushed the wrong button.
you pushed the right button,
right.
But I want to apologize to all the people at home. I expect a monster year from Zeke.
By the way, LeBron said that same word that night. He said we're top heavy as
bleep.
You know what? Go ahead.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Brian used in my head.
Yeah, he was.
I expect Zeke to have a monster year, Skip. I would be shocked if he didn't have somewhere between 350 and 400 carries. When they say they're going to make this offense more Dak friendly, that means Zeke's going to have a heavier workload.
I'm with that.
They're going to run him,
Yep,
and you mentioned they're going to give him the opportunity to carry to catch the ball out of the backfield. So I expect him to catch the ball somewhere between 30 and 40 times a game, a lot more than what he did his first 2 years in the league. He's a special talent, Skip. And with the weight of, am I going to be suspended? Am I not going to be suspended? And maybe he didn't take off-season conditioning as serious as he needed to take it last year. Because when he showed up, I said, Skip, he looked a little heavy. He don't look like that guy that used to have his shirt rolled up and used to look like he got tennis balls in his stomach.
Agreed.
He didn't look like that. And I think it showed. But that was a lot to have on a young man's plate, especially what he was being accused of. He was basically fighting for his ability to play in the NFL. And he was fighting for his family and his good name. But I expect him to have a monster year. DeMarco Murray's single-season rush record is in trouble. That of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That 1848 is in serious jeopardy because I believe he'll get somewhere between 350 and 400 carries a season, and he'll be somewhere between 4.5, maybe even 5 yards. So he could easily approach that 2,000-yard barrier. Zeke Elliott is going to be a monster this year.
Thank you for opening that door for me, because I'm going to run through the door you just opened. I'm going to go you several better on this one. I'm going to first remind you that we're approaching our 2-year anniversary here on Undisputed, our partnership. We welcome Jenny into the partnership.
Thank you.
2 years on September 6th. Soon after we launched 2 years ago, I started predicting that Russell Westbrook would average a triple-double for that 2016-2017 season, and he did.
Correct.
So I'm about to make another prediction. I believe that if all goes well, and obviously health plays a bigger role often in football than it does in basketball, but if a bunch of people stay healthy for the Dallas Cowboys offense, including most of all Ezekiel Elliott, I believe he will break Eric Dickerson's NFL single-season rushing record of 2,105 yards. Eric, obviously a contributor here on Undisputed, will not like me predicting that, but I am predicting that because all the planets have aligned for this to happen this year in the Dak-friendly offense that you suggest. But I'm going to point out that year in L.A. for the Rams, that was 1984. Remember, that was 34 years ago that this record was set.
I remember.
It has endured for 34 years because in those days it was more regular for a back, the lead back of the team, in this case Eric Dickerson of the Los Angeles Rams at that point, to have more carries than the team threw passes.
Absolutely.
So he had 379 carries, and all their passers, and they had 3 different ones play, mostly Jeff Kemp out of Dartmouth University, which is why he was running the ball, but they only threw 358 total passes. So 379 runs to 358 passes. Wow, that's 21 more carries than passes.
But put that in perspective, Skip. That's only 700 total plays. That's only a little over 700 plays. Think about teams now, quarterbacks are throwing the ball 600 times, just throwing it.
Yeah, you're right about that. But you have to go all the way back to Eric in 1986, 2 years after this, to find the last time a single back, had more carries than the team threw passes.
Yes.
So that's 32 years ago. So for 32 NFL seasons, that's never happened.
No.
And I believe it just might happen with these Dallas Cowboys.
He's definitely capable of it, Skip.
Again, these Cowboys are receiver challenged at this point in time. It doesn't look great. Maybe, I've told you, I like Dak spreading the ball, reading, reacting, getting everybody 4 or 5 catches instead of throwing 12 balls toward number 88, who was leading the league in drops, Des Bryant.
Now, you know he's going to tag you in the post.
He's going to tag me, and here we go again. Sorry about that, Des. I did not mean to pile on. But the offensive line underachieved last year. They drafted Connor Williams out of the University of Texas, 6'6", 315 pounds. 2 years ago, in his sophomore year at Texas, he was first-team All-American at left tackle. He is now the starting left guard for the Dallas Cowboys. And in case Ty Smith, who you always say, bad back, big trouble, right? In case he goes down or misses a few games, they will slip Connor Williams over to what they didn't have, which is a quality backup at left tackle. I think this line will come back alive this year and be the best offensive line in pro football, which is all going to lead to the breakout year for Ezekiel Elliott, because he had 1,631 yards as a rookie when he still didn't know how to play, and that rookie was carrying around a little pot belly, which we talked about. I brought it up right away. I don't like the look of that. Emmitt Smith had a little pot belly, but he was a very different runner than Zeke is.
Yeah, he was built different.
Built different, built lower, built squattier, duck inside those elephant offensive linemen, and you couldn't find him. But Zeke runs a little higher and a little stronger, and he will run to contact and through contact more than Emmitt did.
Absolutely.
So in this case, I believe that Ezekiel Elliott will be on a Brady-esque mission to get even with the NFL for what I thought was an outrageously unfair 6-game suspension. Because I'm going to say it one more time. The NFL's Director of Investigations recommended no suspension after she was the only one in the league office to interview the accuser of Zeke, not 2 or 3, but 5 times. I think 5, maybe 6 times it was. Six times that she interviewed said accuser. She recommended no suspension, whatever. He was gone for 6 games. As you point out, it hung over them and him the whole year. I think it took a lot out of him because he was constantly talking to lawyers and going to court. And it's just not the way to prepare for football games, and then he missed 6 of them. And I believe, just like Tom Brady, after Deflategate, Tom came back on a mission. And I believe Zeke will say, okay, watch this. I'm seeing different things from him. I'm hearing different things from him. Again, he's the one that you say you got to keep the cell phone under your pillow because it might ring at 3:30 in the morning because you just don't know. So I will believe it when I see it, but so far I am seeing it. If anyone is capable of breaking that record, it is this young man because he is as special as they come at this position. He is rare. I'm going to say it again. At the end of his sophomore year, remember those last 3 games, Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin, 220 yards. St. Nick's defense, Alabama in the national semifinal, 230 yards, and then Oregon national championship game, 246 yards. This is special stuff. This is in rarefied air of running back.
But Skip, that would concern me because then I believe in order for him to do that, he's going to have to break Larry Johnson, the old Kansas City Chiefs running back, carries in a season. Now, that's going to be crossing the Rubicon. Now, he was never the same once he went to that 420. You're asking
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson.
I mean, you might use him up faster, but I'm just saying, whatever he has, I'm going to just let it fly.
Because
DeMarco Murray was never the same after 14.
And it's a rarity.
That's fine, but you at that position, you just have to let it fly.
Well, he wants the second contract, Skip. He saw Todd Gurley. What did Stephen Jones say? Stephen say Zeke saw what Todd got.
I'm going to knock on wood on this one.
Okay.
But Zeke Elliott is LeBron-esque as a running back in that his durability is supreme. So far, so pretty great.
Yes.
Because he broke his hand one training camp at Ohio State, but then he played the season. And early in his rookie year in the NFL, he had a hamstring issue, but it didn't persist. So as far as knees, shoulders go, so far, so good.
Yeah,
so great.
400.
I know,
it's
400.
And then if you say you're going to throw him the ball 30, 40 times, so you're going to be somewhere around 450, maybe 460, 70 touches. Man, that's an awful lot. And ED was 6'3", 225.
He was.
Zeke is 5'9".
He might be 6 feet.
6 foot, what? 220?
225. He's put together pretty well.
He is, Skip, but that's a lot of mileage.
So quickly, I looked back at 1984, and how did our man Eric Dickerson pull this off? Well, he started off slow. In week 3, he had 49 yards. In week 4, he had 89 yards. And you would have thought at that point,
no chance.
2,100 yards, break O.J. Simpson's record? No way.
But he went
But he had 2 200-yard games, 208 and 215. And in the 215 game, which was in week 15, he broke the record.
Right.
So he did it with 2 big games and then a whole lot of really good games.
Yeah.
And Zeke is capable of, to break it, he probably needs a couple of monster games.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a couple of 200-yard games because in ED's rookie year, Skip, he went 1808. And then he followed that up with with fewer carries, because I think he had 404 carries in his rookie season, and then followed that up with 379 in the second season. But normally you start getting to that 400 threshold, Skip. I mean, Eddie George was never the same. TD had 392 for 2008. He was never the same.
Well,
look at Sean Alexander.
You know what? Maybe that suspension last year will turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. It saved his body for 6 games. And during those 6 weeks, according to our Eric Dickerson, because he went to visit him, he went to Cabo San Lucas, and he actually, dare I say, got in shape.
Well, he definitely
looked better. He came back
and
looked a lot different.
He looked a lot better when he came back than he did before he left.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable saying I believe he'll get DeMarco Murray's 1848. But I think
2105. So you need 2106.
So in other words, so what's Dak gonna do? Dak must be gonna have 1,300 yards passing.
It's a lot of pressure.
Just 50-50. That's all you need.
Skip.
Just break it down 50-50.
That'll be like some NFL record.
You have to throw it enough to keep 9 guys out of the box, right?
And that's the thing, because you know they're gonna sell out. And that's what's gonna make it so impressive. Zeke could easily win the MVP. He goes 1,800 yards, and everybody's got 8 guys, 9 guys trying to stop him. They have a decent record, 11-5. It's going to be hard for him not to win the MVP.
You don't think 10 guys were trying to stop Eric in 1984?
Yeah, but them.
Huh?
Yeah, that was just a magical season. It's just like the AP season of 2097. Christian Ponder did just enough, because remember that last game, every time they sell out, Christian Ponder, he ended up having like 200 and 300 yards that last game against Green Bay.
Christian Ponder still threw it. I looked this up this morning. I can't remember the number, but he threw it a good number more times.
He was over 400 attempts, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I could see 50-50. I could see this team being very difficult to defend, because once he gets cooking, he dominates.
That's what you hope.
Dominates.
But what about that anonymous scout? Hold up. What about that anonymous scout?
What about
the Giants?
Yeah.
You better pray for bad weather. That's what he said. And what walking to him gonna go? The Eagles. Hold on. Did the Eagles move out of the NFC?
No.
What about the Giants?
I don't know.
So what they gonna be doing with all Zeke doing all this running?
I got to tell you, Ezekiel Elliott is so good that he will transcend the Eagles or the Giants or the Redskins. He will transcend.
Fletcher Cox, you hear him?
He's just too good. He's just too
Michael
good.
Bennett.
You can all have, you all come.
Malcolm.